Welcome back to NASCAR on JRTV. Returning from the off week in the summer, we're back at the Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan for the GFS Marketplace 400. It's the 16th race of the season, and after today, we'll be 16 races down, 16 races to go for these 42 drivers and their quest for a NASCAR Winston Cup Series championship. I'm Joe Rakowski. Up in the booth with me is Trey Bardo. Trey, it's great to be back after the off week. It was a nice, calm off week, a nice, relaxing off week, but now these drivers, Trey, are back in the wheel of these stock cars, and what better place to come back at Michigan, a very fast, high-speed 2-mile oval.
Yeah, it's you talk about excitement coming back from, like you said, a nice relaxing off week. This will be it. I mean, this is one of the, honestly, I might say one of the more stressed out places we race at, Joe.
Yeah, everything gets stressed out here, whether it be, your equipment, because the motor is sustained RPM, you have to have a lot of grip in the tires, and those will be aching after a long run, and these drivers are going to be feeling it as well. The G-forces through the corners with how fast they're going. This is a racetrack where everything has to be perfect for a driver to perform well here today, and for one team, they were pretty much perfect in qualifying. The only thing that they weren't perfect about was they didn't get the pole position, but Trey, Roush Racing has 4 of the top 7 spots, with second in points Keyshawn Richardson starting outside of the pole, Jay Randall starting 3rd, Jordan Stout in 5th, and Zachary DeLello in 7th. Their 5th driver, Burnett, a little bit further back in 17th, but he has a shot to move through the field on the start. So Trey, Roush Racing, they are firing off just after the off week.
Yeah, they are. It doesn't really seem like they skipped any beats, did they? They're pretty much right back where they were.
Yeah, and I would also watch out for a team that looks to be just as fast as them in qualifying, and that's Richard Childress Racing. They put Sarah Kirchner on pole, and we know how Kirchner hasn't really qualified well this season, so the fact that she's able to put on pole, that car should have some serious speed during the race. We have Evans in 6th as well, and Kukulon in 12th, so that's 3 RCR cars inside the top 12, so watch for those drivers as well. In fact, Roush and RCR, they make up 7 of the top 12 spots, so the other teams might have to watch out. Maybe Robbie Yates Racing has 2 cars up there, MB2 has some cars up there, but also watch for the driver starting in 11th place, Trey. He can join an elite group of drivers if he wins this race today. That's 11th place starter Keegan Thompson. He's won the last 2 races of the season, Road America and Pocono. Now he's here at Michigan looking to go for 3 in a row. And Trey, only 3 drivers in the Winston Cup Series history have won 3 races in a row. It was Trey Rainey in 1993. You did it yourself in 1999, and Brett Sear did it most recently back in 2001. And Trey, the common denominator among these drivers that won 3 in a row, Trey Rainey went on to win the championship. You went on to win the championship. Brett Sear went on to finish 2nd in the championship, losing it in the final race. So Trey, if Keegan Thompson wins this one, goes 3 in a row, you have to expect him to be a championship favorite as we enter into the deep summer months.
I mean, the stats don't lie, Joe, and that definitely seems to be the trend. And I mean, hey, 3 wins in a row, that gets you a lot of points. And for Keegan, he wasn't doing too hot whenever this. I don't think he was doing too hot, is what I should say, whenever this winning streak started. So those 3 wins can definitely, change the odds in his favors, and we'll have to see if, like you said, he can continue it here today.
Yeah, when this winning streak started, he was the lowest of the Hendrick drivers in points, and now he's moving up through the ladder, and now he still has 2 Hendrick drivers in front of him in points, Strickland and Sierra, because they've been so consistent this season. But if he can continue this winning momentum, you can't get any more points rather than winning. So we'll see if Thompson can go 3 in a row here today at Michigan. When Sierra did it back in 2001, he also won at Michigan in that streak. So maybe Keegan Thompson can continue some of the Hendrick Motorsports success here at the Michigan International Speedway. As we go take a look at the track facts here at Michigan, it's a beautiful day for racing, 80 degrees, definitely the warmest day we've had so far this season, and just very little wind as well. So it's a perfect day for racing here in Brooklyn, Michigan. This race will be 40 laps long. That equals 80 miles, and the fuel window just past the midway point. 21 to 24 laps is what they can go. However, we'll watch for some strategy. You want to come in early because the tires wear so much here. However, you don't want to be on a congested pit road. You also don't want to get caught if a yellow flag comes out. We've seen in the past, cautions come out in the middle of green flag pit cycles because of the pit road exit. So if a caution comes out, we saw last season, a caution came out middle of green flag pit cycles. Kukulon stayed out longer and actually inherited the lead for the final restart of the day. He gained track position that way, so if someone stays out longer, we'll have to watch if a yellow flag comes out to help them gain some track position here at Michigan. Variable banking all throughout this racetrack, 18 degrees in the corners, 12 degrees on the front stretch, only 5 degrees on the back straightaway. And this is an interesting stat. The last 4 Michigan winners in the Winston Cup Series have ended up in the top 3 in the point standings at the conclusion of the season. Jeff Brighton Knight in 1999 finished in 3rd place. Zaydell did the same in 2000. In 2001, Brett Sierra finished runner-up, and last season, Mathis Wells went on to win the championship. So this is a racetrack that shows some serious contenders in terms of speed and just the whole package in terms of a race team, as we'll go down tracks that get the command to fire the engines up for the 16th race of the Winston Cup Series 2003 season.
Start your engines.
"42 cars fire up, coming off the starting grid here in Brooklyn, Michigan for the GFS Marketplace 400. And Trey starting outside the front row, this number 99 of Keyshawn Richardson. The last few races, he's outpointed Brett Sierra. Here today, he starts second. His championship rival Sierra all the way back in 18th. Could this be the race, Trey, where Keyshawn Richardson takes over the points lead?
It definitely could, especially if, this 99 can stay up front, and Sierra tends to struggle in traffic whenever he gets back there, so we'll have to see if that 25 can work his way up, or, if it's kind of a stalemate.
It's kind of interesting. This race last season, Richardson was the dominator of the season, leading points for most of it. Had a big points lead, but he faltered here, finished outside the top 30, and that's what started his downfall through the summer months. Lost the points, he never could recover, try and get back to the championship form of that number 99. This is the man, this is the team that has the momentum on their side. Luke Rennie, the 88, Riley Spurgeon, the 28. They've been good this season. Riley has that win earlier this season at Texas. Luke Rennie still searching for that first win of the season, Trey. But both cars starting inside the top 10. They're fast at tracks like this. Could this be the day Luke Rennie breaks through to victory lane in the 2003 season and catapults himself up into the championship fight?
He's going to do it sooner or later this season, right? I feel like he's been up there almost every race, so eventually something's got to happen in his favor.
He's got to be maybe the driver that's been closest to the front all season that has yet to find victory lane. But as mentioned, this is a track type that those two cars from Robert Yates Racing run well at. We'll see if they can perform well in the race. But they're going to have to try and get by Sarah Kirchner, starts on pole in that number 33. She hits the gas, and we're going in Michigan. The green flag is waving for 40 laps. Well, Trey, I don't think it's a surprise, but Tim Gary wasted no time to go 3 wide into turn 1, getting by DeLello in the 16, bringing Keegan Thompson and Lathan Strickland, the Hendrick teammates, with them. They battled through 3 and 4, still 3 and even 4 wide back around 20th place. Hunter Reed making the move on Colin Lewis and Zaydell, forcing them up the track. Sarah Kirchner leads the first lap, but chaos behind the front 3 or so.
I was going to ask, we've got enough room to do 4 wide here, right?
Barely so, Trey. I would not want to test the waters, but they're testing the waters up towards the front of the field. There they go! Oh my goodness! Zachary DeLello is in the catch fence, riding the wall. Keegan Thompson is in it, and so was Conrad Evans. It started with a 4 wide move by Lathan Strickland, which did not work well at all in turns 1 and 2.
We still got to race back for the win. It's Kirchner who's out front. I don't think she'll be contested for it, as seems like the top 4, 5, or 6 kind of single file out here to start across the start finish.
Kirchner will lead them back to the caution flag. I think we somehow only got away with 3 cars in that crash. It could have been so much more, but obviously there were big hits from everyone in it. I think Evans, definitely got the least damage of it. Still has pretty good damage on the front end and the back end of that 31. Thompson is done, and so is, I can't believe that 16 car is driving. In fact, he's driving faster than the 5.
Yeah, I don't understand how he's I was moving. These cars are really strong, Joe.
They are, and I just can't believe that he's able to drive with that car. I think Keegan has issues with that steering, too.
Got big issues. He's in the grass. Well, Joe, we can confirm one thing, and that's the 3 in a row is not going to happen.
Yep, that luck for Keegan Thompson ran out here at Michigan. I think it might be his teammate he's going to be a little upset with, because I think, Trey, it was this number 48 of Strickland. You can see right here is back with his other teammates. He was up in the top 5 or top 10 when that happened, but it looks like he was the one that forced the 4 wide, and he went up the track, lost positions, and wrecked his teammates and some others with him. Apologies to Lathan Strickland. I saw his car dart up the racetrack. I thought maybe he was the one that forced the 4 wide. It was actually the number 19 of Nolan Lawrence forcing it 4 wide, and unfortunately, that puts 200 teammates in the middle, and that's where it becomes bad, because Strickland's trying to give the 19 room, and maybe the 5, the 16 don't know they're 4 wide, and the 516 clip together into the 48. Strickland comes up, and then this hit right here. This is the big one. DeLello sandwiched from the 5 in the wall, and look at him riding the fence and Trey. That's, the repairs there. Gotta take a little bit, you have to think, and I think they might be stopping the cars on the back straightaway, it looks like.
Yeah, that's definitely at least 30, 40 feet worth of, catch fence that 16 took down. So it's going to take a while to repair. Luckily, still, I don't understand how he drove away from this.
Yeah, all the cars that got major damage drove away, including this 5 who took a very hard hit. I think actually that 5 has more damage than the 16 does.
Again, these cars, Joe, they're tough. They're very tough.
Yes, they are. We'll go take a look at this wreck from a few more angles and look at it in full speed a few times. Here's that same view, but at full speed, as Lawrence makes the 4-wide move in contact, and that is insane to look at full speed.
That is absolutely crazy. I mean, luckily he didn't go over, right? I mean, that would have only made it worse, and he's clearly okay for the most part being able to drive that away, but if that would have gone upside down into the catch fence, like by rolling or any other way, that could have been so much more scarier.
Yeah, exactly that. And we have a few more angles to show just how crazy and dangerous this crash was. We'll go take a look at them right now. Here's the view from the top of the grandstand, right where DeLello gets launched into the fence. Look at that, Trey. The fans can see the underside of the 16 car.
Yeah, and they're getting a lot closer than they think, because for most of that, I don't think there was a catch fence there between them. So
yeah.
Hopefully there was no parts that went up into the stands there. But yeah, that's a view you don't normally get to see of these things.
Yeah, and that's the fans don't want to see that, obviously. Fortunately, it looks like the catch fence held the debris out on the racetrack, and it didn't get launched into the grandstands. So we'll go take a look from an onboard for Keegan Thompson, who's looking to win 3 in a row, but that quickly is knocked down here at Michigan. And here's the view from the 3-time winner this season as he gets sandwiched in the middle. Look at that hit! And then he sees the 16 basically riding the catch fence.
Yeah, you never want to see a car on top of you, Joe. That's normally not a good sign.
No, it's not. For Keegan Thompson, he's out of the race early. The red flag is out here at Michigan to clean up the crash. We'll come back on JRTV when it's time to get going. A very, very scary crash early on. Back on JRTV, and Trey looking down in turns 1 and 2. A pretty good repair job of the catch fence. Looks just like it did before the crash occurred. We'll come back to the green flag with Sarah Kirchner leading every lap so far from that pole position. Both Thompson is out along with DeLello. Evans has stayed on the racetrack. They've fixed up that 31 a little bit. We'll see how fast he can get going and if he's going to be up to speed at all. So we have Kirchner in the lead, then 3 Roush Coutiers behind her. It's Jay Rando, Jordan Stout, Keyshawn Richardson. Tim Gary completes the top 5 in the number 10. Then you have Ryan Wilson in 6th place. Lawrence is up to 7th. Burnett all the way up to 8th place, so move 4 Roush cars back up inside the top 8, the only 4 that are left running. Then Collins is in 9th and Riley Spurgeon is in 10th. The winner of this race last season, Matt Wells, is up to 11th from his 19th place starting spot. Luke Ernie's back to 12th. Kukulon's 13th. Hunter Reed made that big 4-wide move. He's up to 14th. And Evan Hunter back to 15th. The 3 Hendrick cars left running are back 18th, 19th, and 20th. That's Brett Searer, Justin Idell, and Lathan Strickland. So right now, Hendrick's struggling early on here at Michigan. We'll see if they can recover, trying to get back up towards the front like they have been most of this season. At the front, though, it is right now a Richard Childress car versus 3 Roush cars with Kirchner, Rando, Stout, and Richardson. We'll see how this restart goes. Can Kirchner get the good jump like she did on the initial start? Rando was there, but went to the high side because, remember, Trey, can't pass to the inside on a restart.
Yeah, it's going to affect them because his teammate's going to be able to get right underneath him there. So that's always the one thing, that you never know if you're going to get a run, but if you do, you pick the wrong place to go, you're in trouble.
And looking for the lead, Jordan Stout is down to the bottom of Sarah Kirchner. Here comes Richardson with his teammate. Keyshawn wants those 5 bonus points because he's up there in a fight with Brett Searer for the points lead. If he gets 5 bonus points, could be big for that championship position. He's going to push Stout down to turns 3 and 4. Riley Spurley-Tube and Ryan Wilson nearly made contact for about 10th place. Everyone sorted that out. Stout and Kirchner are door-to-door, side by side. Sarah Kirchner got the run. She leads the lap and might clear the 6 by the time they get to turns 1 and 2. What a great 3 and 4 on the outside for the 33 car.
She looks strong so far, but is it going to stay like that as we're getting bunched up again, Joe? That kind of makes me nervous from what we just saw. So hopefully these guys learn their lesson. They'll calm it down a little bit here.
These drivers are a little crazy early on. I think that off week maybe, I don't know, it hurt something within them because they're here ready to go. Maybe it was just too long of an off week, too long of a break.
Yeah, it might have been. And like I said, Joe, for us to come back to a place like this, it's a big jump. So that could also be another thing. As you can see, the 15 kind of putting pressure on the there. Kind of moved up the track a lot farther than I figured he would have.
I think he was going up there for a side draft, but I think he nearly ran him to the outside wall. That was very close right there. So we're 3 wide for 4th place. Mathis Wells, Trey. I think he's still disappointed. He hasn't won yet this season. We're nearly midway through the season, and he's like, listen, I'm the reigning champion, and this is not how reigning champions should be running. And he's trying out here right now at Michigan to go for back-to-back here at this racetrack. He's moved to 4th place. Trey's passed 15 cars in the span of just 9 laps.
Yeah, he's cruising right now, ain't he?
He's a man on a mission. This man's on a mission as well. Brett Sear didn't qualify well back in 18th, but currently racing well up to 11th place, trying to get by Fitzwater for 10th place. His teammate Strickland trying to come back to the front after losing some ground from that first accident of the day. Sierra is by Fitzwater up to the top 10 for the 25. In front of them, Ryan Wilson, Mitchell Collins go side by side. That's for 7th, 8th, and 9th as Tim Gary joins the battle in the number 10 car. At the front trace, still Sarah Kirschner leading the way. Stout back in 2nd place in the number 6. Hasn't been able to mount a charge. And Richardson struggling in 3rd. Wells trying to get to the inside. Here comes Richardson's teammate Randall to make it 3 wide. That's for 3rd place with Kukulon, making it a 4-car race for that position down to turns 1 and 2.
Where does Kugel on the go, though? That's the real question. Looks like he's going to stick it middle with the 20, but might get cut off there by the 97, which he does. That's always a weird thing because you don't want to force it 4 wide because of what we just saw, but at the same time, if you have such a big run, you got to decide who you want to help more.
I think he went to that middle because that was the only Chevy in that battle with them, so he said, let me help a fellow Chevy out and push that number 20 by for 3rd place. Now Kukulon got 5th from his Richardson, is still struggling in the 99 car, backing up to the guys behind. Here comes Kukulon on Jay Randall and Trey as the 99 backs up. The 25 is coming forward. Brett Sierra is up inside the top 10, moving for 8th place, while Richardson is backdropping to 6th place.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see if you're the 99, but it's what you love to see if you're Sierra there in the 25, is that the guy closest to you in points is starting to fall back to you. So it might be a good day if the trends continue to go like this. But so far, Joe, it's too early to say.
Yes, it is. We're still only 11 laps in. We had that caution to break up this run, so they don't really have too many laps consecutive on the tires. Maybe the 99 just doesn't take off well, and he'll maybe get better in the long run, or maybe it's the complete opposite. Maybe he continues to get worse as the run goes on. 25 can continue to get better. Now there's only 1 car between them, and maybe here comes Strickland to make it 3 wide on his teammate. Why is he being so aggressive with his teammate who's in contention for the championship? Well, Strickland's also in contention for the championship. He wants to gain points on the 25 and not lose them, so he puts Sierra up to the top, passes him, and now the 25's dropping back. At the front for 2nd place, Mathis Wells getting the push from Jay Rando, trying to move to 2nd place to then have a shot at the 33 of Sarah Kirschner. But here comes Jay Rando. He's been aggressive today with that number 20, being aggressive through 3 and 4 again. They'll go side by side for 2nd place. The 33 loves it. She's looking in the mirror. They're side by side. She's pulling away.
Yeah, I mean, after all this battling, it's only going to help them. I mean, she was 2/10 off last time. She almost gained another 2/10 that time, just under it. So all this battling, that was close contact there.
Yeah, they're racing very hard for that 3rd position. They were 3 wide. Wells now way up the track. Richardson has to go to the middle. Strickland 3 wide to the bottom, says thank you very much, and that's 2 spots in 1 move. And he might bring his teammate Brett Sierra with a big move. And now the 25 passes the 99. And he's going to gain points on 2nd place in the points position as these two are getting close. And look at Trey, Matt Tuck moving up for a top 10 spot through the field in that number 32 car.
Where did he come from?
Back of the field, that's where he came from.
He's this is a man we don't really talk about too often, but looks like he's making his presence known this time.
Yeah, we got to talk about him at Talladega because he finished runner-up there in his rookie season. Well, now he's just passed Fitzwater for 9th place. That 32 has some serious speed underneath it here at a track like Michigan where everything is so important on that race car. Great battle for 2nd place still going on. Kukulon trying to join his teammate at the front. So it's a Richard Childress racing 1-2 with Kirchner still in the lead from pole. Kukulon from 12th is up to 2nd now and pulling away from the 3-way battle for 3rd place. Brett Sears started 18th in this race, and now we're not even midway through. He's 3 wide for 3rd place with Mathis Wells, who started 19th just behind him, racing into turns 1 and 2. And look at Matt Tuck just past Richardson for 8th place and gaining on the front 7.
Now with we're watching this 25 and the 32 who are absolutely moving through the field, Joe. Could this affect them in the longer run?
Well, Trey, you have to think, right, with just 5 laps to halfway, you don't have to go much longer on this run if your tires start to wear out. As long as you're past lap 20, you can come down pit road and say, thank you very much, get me 4 Mr. Feelgoods and get me out there. As Tuck has just passed about 3 cars in one corner. At the front, Kukelan's really close up on Kirchner for the race lead. With 16 laps down, we have battles all over this 2-mile racetrack. What a great race so far here in the GFS Marketplace 400.
I mean, actually, ours brought some fast cars here today. So was Roush. Both of them have brought us some fast cars. And don't forget that the 16 was up here before he was involved in the incident, as well as the 31, who I also believe was involved in that incident. They were both fast. So the teams as a whole are really showing their stuff today.
Jay Brando passes Kukelan back for second place. Brett Sierra got tight, had to lift on the bottom of 3 and 4, lost all the ground to try and pass Kukelan 29 right back in the 97, and Matt Tuck for the top 5 on Jordan Stout side by side for them. Tuck gets 5th at the line. That 32 has the top 4 in his sights, and they're not getting away from him either. He is closing right up onto Brett Sierra, the points leader, and here comes Strickland for 6th on Stout.
These guys are now they're. I don't know if they're trying to set themselves up for coming into pit stops, being in the best position you can, or if they're just still trying to get everything they can because their cars are feeling good.
See Brett Sear right there, defensive into turn 3, blocking off Matt Tuck, but it hurt his entry. Tuck backed it up, cuts right to the bottom. These two were pseudo teammates last season because Tuck and Sierra, Tuck replaced Brett Sierra. But here today, they're enemies on the racetrack, and Trey, you were reacting to this. The 2, the 15, and the 12, very close racing, further back in the top 10.
I don't know if you saw that, but someone made a big movement. I don't know if it was the 2 that got a little squirrely coming off of 4, but it looked like there was almost contact made. I wasn't sure what was going to come out of it.
There is some left side damage on that too, so I have to think the 15, the 12, and them, they made some contact with each other, kept it going straight, kept it going clean and green, but we're nearing the midway point, Trey, and this great racing, Kirchner's still in the lead from pole position. They keep battling for a second. They can't find a way up to her. Here comes Matt Tuck in the 32, going for a second on Jay Rando. This 32 is flying. Can he be the one to try and pass Sarah Kirchner? But Trey, we have to remember, we're within about 2 to 5 laps of those pit stops starting.
Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't think, I mean, granted, that was a long, caution period with the red flag and all with the fence repairs, but under the red flag, they didn't really save anything because we didn't run any laps, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think that it would affect this run too much and when the pit stops hit, so I'd expect them, like you said, to hit soon.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, can Matt Tuck perform on pit road like he's been performing on the racetrack? Up to second place, slides up in front of Jay Rando to keep that spot. Rando in third, trying to get the run back. Matt Tuck's going to try and protect the bottom from that number 97. Has a great run coming back to him, and will now dive to the inside for that second position. All still happening behind Kirchner halfway through, Trey, so we know she's led the first 20 laps. She'll get those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. The question is, if she doesn't get past on this lap, she'll get them alone. No one will tire for the most laps led. So big points day for Sarah Kirchner coming, if she can stay up at the front like this.
Yeah, well, 100%. She's ever since the start of this race, she's taken control and has not let anyone else really had a chance at it. The closest I think we had was her teammate, the 29 of Kukelan.
Yeah, Kukelan, and then just off the that restart, we had a battle as well, go side by side, but she got the run from Jordan Stout, got away as we're 3 wide right here. These 3 going at it with Sear in the middle. Strickland looking 4 wide into turn 1 with his teammate in the middle of it. Matt, as well as last season's champion there. I don't know how they're going to make that work through 1 and 2.
Well, apparently Strickland didn't cause the first one, but he was pretty much a part of it. And
he was
looked like he wanted to test the waters again.
Yeah, he was plotting out maybe another one right there as we're entering into turns 3 and 4. Wells way up the track, carrying Sierra up out of the groove. Jordan Stout moving up. He's almost making contact with the 20. I think, Trey, these tires are falling off, and you have to think these drivers are screaming to come down pit road.
Yeah, definitely. But the only part about that is that the crew chiefs have a plan, and they got to stick with it, because if they don't, it could ruin the rest of the race. So even if the drivers aren't very happy with it, they gotta it.
And how about this car just outside the top 10? Smet Oskin for Fitz Bradshaw Racing has moved up from 20th place up to 11th. The top 10 just in his sight, so 2 underdogs performing very well here around the midway point in the GFS Marketplace 400. Pit stops are starting. It looks like Kirchner's going to stay out, but her teammate is going to undercut her as Kukelan comes in with Strickland in the 48. We see others on pit road earlier than this, but Stout is in. Trey, a lot of drivers trying an undercut here at Michigan, trying to get the track position with fresher tires sooner.
Ooh, easy there, the 22. I didn't know what was going to happen there. But yeah, there's It almost looked like it was split half and half, as half stayed out, the other half are on pit road right now. We'll have to see how everyone comes out and if anyone else stays out any longer.
Yeah, because remember, pit exit here gets narrow. You have all the space until you get to turn 1. The grass comes up, then it turns from about 3 lanes on pit exit to about 1.5, and you can't fit 2 cars side by side. So Kirchner's going to come in with Brett Sierra. It looks like Mathis Wells planned on staying on the 20. I believe he stayed out with the number 19 of Lawrence, the 91 of Colin Lewis. They're banking on a yellow coming out. If these guys leave side by side, like some are right here, if they make contact on pit road, they can try and get track position that way. The front few leave clean. We'll have to see if there's any side-by-side battles. So far, it looks like I think these two are side-by-side, but the teammates let off. Davis is going to get in front of Albert, who backs off. Here's Atkinson. Hunter!
Oh, contact!
36 in the grass, kept it going straight though, so everyone on the first group makes it out alive. So Wells, Lawrence, and Lewis stayed out. They're going to be coming in this time on pit road. There you see some of the guys that came in sooner, the 22 and the 31 off the pace. They're back out on the racetrack, getting back up to speed. Kirchner going to try and leave in front in the 33. Brett Sierra right with her as they leave. Are they going to be side by side? Sierra beats the 33 off pit road.
Sierra was fast. That was incredible. He gained, I don't know how many spots. There. We're good.
And these two are side by side, right here. Kukulon and Lathan Strickland, they did not have a good outlap. Look at, they did not gain the time that they were thinking. Eli Bright gained time in the 8. He's up inside the top 10, gaining big time. But look at the 48, the 29, they're nowhere near the top few.
I'm impressed with how much Sierra gained. I mean, look how far out he is.
And look at Matt Tuck, just moved by Kirchner to second. The 33 is not firing off on this set of tires. Look at, she just lost like 2 spots right there and still fading down the front stretch. Here comes Strickland with a big run. Is there something wrong in this 33 car?
I don't know. You got to think there is something wrong because she is falling like a rock right now and does not seem to be gaining any momentum at all. Just can't get the car to go.
Well, Mathis Wells trying to leave with Brett Sierra as he's going to merge. The 25 is going to go by. Brett Sierra is going to be the leader here at Michigan. And now Mathis Wells has to try and find a way to get in line in this pack. Eli Bright is up here. What a pit stop for the 8 team as Wells holds up the bottom. Strickland trying to get low. Eli Bright trying to get low. Kirchner trying to get around the outside. Jordan Stout's down low. Kirchner gets in by the 20 car. Matt Tuck is through in third. Mitchell Collins is up to second with Sierra in the lead. Here comes Tuck for a second, down to turns 1 and 2.
See if he'll be able to clear coming out of 2 here. Looks like he might have a chance if he can slide up in front of the 12. Not yet.
And these two being side by side is going to bring more cars into the battle. Lathan Strickland, Eli Bright have gotten away in 4th and 5th. They've gained right up onto the back bumper of this battle for 2nd place. Then you have Stout. Mathis Wells trying to get his tires up to 10th still. He's dropping back. Kukulon's there. Sarah Kirchner's there. And then Roberto Crown Jr.'s there. Ryan Wilson. Some of these others are just outside the main pack, hoping that these guys keep battling. And battling they are. Back for 2nd place comes Collins, but Trey, they have to know this is only hurting them in the long run. The 25's out there in clean air, staying single file. These guys are slowing each other down and using their tires up, battling side by side like they are.
Yeah, definitely, but we'll have to see how it all comes out as the 12 can now clear himself. He cleared himself by about a car or 2 car lengths right there, so he should have plenty of room now. Doesn't have to worry about it. The next battle here is for 4th place. Quite a few cars, 5 or 6 cars within the battle.
Yep, we have the 6, the 8, 29, 48, 33, 20, all in that pack together as the front 3 have gotten away. Even further back, there's some 3-wide action. See right there, 3-wide right there, but 3-wide back here. There's some Jasper teammates that are moving through the field up inside the top 20. Jude Martinelli, Tyler Belladonna were looking 3-wide there, but backed off of it. Those 2 Jasper cars currently up inside the top 20. Martinelli 17th, and Belladonna's up to 18th again by Riley Spiritus. So they're having good runs. Benny Lynn started poorly, back outside the top 40, but he's up to 15th place and gaining some more spots and trying to get up towards the front of the field, which is currently occupied by Brett Sierra. As we have 11 laps to go at the line, let's quickly get to our Gatorade audience analysis from 2 weeks ago. We'd asked which driver has been the biggest good surprise of the 2003 season. I'm not shocked by the fact that Evan Hunter won that one with nearly 60% of the vote because he won at Daytona, and then he's been up there in contention for the championship with an MB2 car. But now this week we're asking about the Michigan track and what is most important to run well here at Michigan. Is it the motor for the horsepower? Is it the chassis for the grip of the tires? Is it the body and the aerodynamics, or is it just the driver himself?
Oh, it's always a driver, right? No matter what, it's always the driver. You could be a good driver in a not-so-good car and work your way up here as not nothing against the 12 or the 32, but they've not been the best. But seems like they're really showing out here today, right? So, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna have to go the driver.
All right, so let's see what the fans think as we have 10 laps to go. Brett Sear still in the lead, still about for second place. Collins has it. Matt Tuck wants it. That number 32. The front of the field is spread out. You can see back there some of the drivers that were outside the top 10 gaining up. Roberto Crown Jr., Nolan Lawrence, Justin Seidel are right up onto the back bumper. We do have some cars that have fallen a lap down through these pit cycles. They are, Jack Carter, Jacob Miller falling a lap down. Conrad Evans still in the lead lap at the back. Matthew Burnett and Keyshawn Richardson have fallen. In fact, Trey, the Roush cars, they've fallen off. Burnett's back in 37th. Richardson, who came in second in points, is 35th. Jay Reynolds back in 32nd. An RCR car of Just Nackis is back there as well in 31st. Evan Hunter's back in 30th. Tim Gary, 28th. So, Trey, some of these drivers that started well, they have not raced well here at Michigan.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, it's, again, one of these tracks where if you don't get a good start, Joe, everyone's so bunched up, and it's such a momentum-favored track that you could fall back pretty quickly, and it seems like those are the case, and they just have not been able to make their way back up here, as we can see a battle between Eli Bright and Matt Tuck, as well as a battle for the lead.
Mitchell Collins got the run through 3 and 4, got beside Brett Sear. They drag race to lead that lap at the stripe, too close to call. 25 led the lap. Now Collins has the preferred inside lane in turns 1 and 2. Eli Bright clears in third place. Strickland going for fourth. Mitchell Collins clears in the lead. He's out in front here at Michigan, but here comes Eli Bright with a big run in the 8 off turn 2 to battle his Missourian friend Brett Sear down the back into turns 3 and 4 for second place. I don't think anyone at the 8 up at the front on their bingo cards here today with 7 laps to go at the line.
Where was the 8 at before pit stops?
He was like back in 15th or so, Trey.
Remember who's on the box now for this team?
Yeah, it's his father who's won a lot, won some championships, and it's showing out. Look at the run for Strickland.
Out of nowhere, here comes Strickland.
Big run for third down to turns 1 and 2. 7 laps to go at Michigan. Still 5 cars for the win, and if they keep battling, it could be up to 10, because here comes Kirchner and Wells and Stout and Lawrence and Justin Seidel, who won his first ever race here back in 2000. Maybe he could sneak up here from 10th place to win it with 6 laps to go.
This is starting to get us. We have another pass for the lead. Sierra on the inside.
And Collins led 1 lap. Might not lead this next one, but so close at the line. Brett Sear gets it, but they're punching a big hole in the air. Here comes Eli Bright with the run. Where does he go? Down to turns 1 and 2 as they're side by side in front of him. He's going to prefer the bottom because he might have a shot for the win himself. Down to the bottom of Collins trying to get second. The 25 clears and leads. Eli slides at the banking. Here comes Collins right back with a crossover down to the inside, and they'll go back at it for second place, but can they get the run off the top of 3 and 4? I think he went too high to maybe make it work.
Yeah, he might have just went right out of the right. Whoa, that's 20.
Wow. Mathis Wells out of control there through 3 and 4. Sarah Kirchner got a big run off the top of 3 and 4. Down to the inside with 5 to go. She's looking to pass the 40 and the 32 back as Eli keeps second for now. And now can he run that 25 back down? He's got to hope that maybe the 48 can start battling the 12. Then he won't have to worry about his mirror rather than, just looking out the windshield here.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll have to see what the consensus is on that. I'm nervous to watch this 20 again. It seems like that's been multiple times. He does it again. He just cannot get 3 and 4 down. I mean, it's honestly lap after lap where he just runs up the track there.
That car was out of control the last long run. I have to think it's out of control again on this long run. They have some good short run speed. They can't capitalize, though, when we get laps on the tires. 4 laps to go. Battle for second back on. Eli Bright was starting to run down Brett Sear a little bit, but that's halted for the moment because Mitchell Collins moves to his inside. The 48 stays high with the 8, but Collins gets a great run through 1 and 2. Can't quite clear the 8. They stay side by side. Brett Sear, the 2001 winner here at Michigan, is starting to pull away in that number 25 car.
Whoa, did you see the run Kirchner had?
Wow, Strickland tried to block it as well. Couldn't get it done. Kirchner to the bottom. They stay side by side for a second with 3 laps to go. Sierra loves it. He's pulled away. Eli Bright, though, a massive run off the top of 3 and 4. Gets back by the 12 car. They just have 6 miles, though, to go. Can they run Brett Sear down, or will they continue to stay side by side? So far at the moment, they're staying side by side. Eli Bright trying to block off the 12, but can't do it. Mitchell Collins stays to the inside, and Matt Tuck goes 3 wide on Strickland, and Kirchner gets both those spots.
I don't think Tuck cares where he finishes right now. This is an absolute amazing run by him. I think he's just trying to get out there. Oh, Eli hit the wall.
Eli scraped the wall, trying to helped him somehow. got the run into the corner, got the arc into the corner, completes the pass on the number 12. Matt Tuck has a run back up onto Collins for third place, but they only have 2 laps to run down Brett Sierra, and the gap is quite big as Eli across the line, 2 laps to go, over 0.3 of a second, but the battle's on for third. Tuck to the inside of Collins. It could help Bright stay clear and have 1 shot at Brett Sierra. They've gained big time. The 8 is there, and with 2 laps to go, can he use the draft to run Brett Sierra down and have a shot for the win?
As long as Eli does not hit the wall again going into 3 with the battling behind him, all he has to focus on is a 25 in front of him here. He's going to go into 3 and 4, follow Sierra's line. We'll have to see if he gets any sort of run coming out. I mean, it's going to be hard with Sierra having the clean air.
And it's a big battle for about 4th, 5th behind as the white flag is in the air. 1 last lap here at Michigan, the GFS Marketplace 400. Brett Sierra leads. A hungry Eli Bright looking for his first win of the season in 2nd place. Down into turns 1 and 2. Everyone in single file formation for now. Sierra out in front. Started back in 18th place. The points here trying to extend his points lead over everyone. Down the back straightaway. Bright with a slight run off 1 and 2. Can he get the run through 3 and 4? Closing up onto the 25. Looking for a way to him. Through turns 3 and 4. When Brett Sierra won here in 2001, it was a last lap pass for the win. Now he's going to get it by dominating the second half of the GFS Marketplace 400. Brett Sierra, the points leader, wins again in 2003. That was quite the chaotic race, Trey. I don't know if we could have covered all the battles out there because it was constant battling.
There was so much going on there in those last few laps, Joe. I'm
tired. Brett Sierra, who ends out on top, and Trey, the points leader. We had talked about at the beginning, right? With Richardson started 2nd, Sierra back in 18th. It was, can Brett Sierra find a way to get up there and minimize the points lost to Richardson or even gain points on him? Well, here today, Trey, with Richardson not finishing well at all, Sierra winning, then 25, the points lead was down to about 22. It's way back up now.
Yeah, definitely, and that was what that 25 needed, and right now it's not it's not that he wanted to be that close to Richardson, but it's what happened. Now he's got a little bit more of a cushion, is what we can say.
Yep, heading into the summer months, and with how he's been struggling as of late, we were thinking, did Hendrick lose it, or did that 25 team just lose it? Well, I don't think that they've lost it too much, and Hendrick as a whole has not lost it. They've now won the last 3 races of the season, with Thompson winning the previous 2, Sierra winning this one as the field filters into pit lane, and we'll take a look at the finishing results. A very topsy-turvy day here at Michigan with some of the drivers starting up front, finishing at the back, and vice versa as Brett Sierra ends up on top. The points leader from mid-pack gets it done here today. Eli Bright with a 2nd place. What a great run through the field for that number 8. Had a fast car in the first run, played the right strategy on pit stops, and got it done in the second half to end up inside the top 2. Mitchell Collins ends up with the 3rd place. Very solid day for him. A great run for Matt Tuck. 4th place for PPI Motorsports. Probably their best race of the season, even though they finished 2nd at Talladega, a 4th at Michigan. I feel like a lot more indicative of the speed and just the talent of that number 32 driver rather than Talladega was. And a top 5 for Lathan Strickland. Hendrick Motorsports had a very good day. Wells in 6th, and then Zidell moved his way up to 7th at the end, had one of the fastest cars at the end of the race. Nolan Lawrence with an 8th place. Unfortunately, though, he caused the really was the direct cause of that first big accident of the day. Kirchner and Roberto Crown Jr., who failed inspection, had to start back in 42nd, ends up with a top 10 with a run through the field for him. Laura Chung, a very solid day for both the Evernham cars, 11th for Chung. Then Kukulon, Wilson, Benny Lynn came from the back to a 14th, and Jordan Stout, the highest of the Roush cars, but only 15th place. Wow. Have the some of the more underdogs. Belladonna 17th, Lewis 18th, Martinelli 19th. Very solid days for them. Riley Sprotu 20th. Just was not the day we were expecting for a lot of the drivers that we had said maybe could have a shot to win it. See, Ozkin faded down here to 21st. Jericho and Hernandez had to start back around 40th place. But they end up 22nd, 23rd. So solid days for them, but just not good enough cars to move through the field quite that quick. Tim Gary, Evan Hunter, the MB2 teammates, 28th, 29th. Justin Atkins, 30th. And then down here, big damage for some of these drivers. Richardson came in 2nd in points, but gets 32nd. Luke Rainey, 33rd. Rando, 34th. Burnett, 37th. Evans in the crash was 38th. We see 2 cars 1 lap down, obviously the 2 out. DeLello and Thompson from the big crash early on here at Michigan. And now, Trey, we take a look at the points, and with how this day was, a lot of drivers that we didn't expect to run well ran well, and that's what kind of helped Brett Sierra, because he was up there in points, ran well, but everyone that was up there with him, they had pretty bad days.
Yeah, definitely, and that's just gonna shake the stuff up more. So we'll have to see how this carries out into the next couple of races here.
Well, from the chaos of the Michigan International Speedway to maybe a more calmer racetrack, a more pure style racing racetrack, as we go to the New Hampshire International Speedway for the Sylvania 300 1-mile low bank corners there, and should be a fun race in New Hampshire, in Loudon, New Hampshire, to kick off the second half of the Winston Cup Series season. We know Brett Sierra in control of the championship at this moment, but can anyone find a way in the second half of the season to run them back down the points and catapult themselves in front of that 25? Only time will tell in these final 16 races. Here today at Michigan, it's all about the points leader, Brett Sierra, with the victory here at Michigan. Congratulations to that he and that number 25 team. For Trey Bardo, I'm Drew Rakowski. So long from Michigan, but tune in next week here right on JRTV for the New Hampshire NASCAR Winston Cup Series race.